Hello, my name is Barbara Burgess, www.psychicbarbaraburgess.com. I am a psychic medium, clairvoyant, shaman, animal communicator, angel communicator, nature communicator, and I do healing. Now, just talking about healing quickly, I read a book by Betty Shine, and she says we are all healers. So, yes, we are all healers. I'm a Reiki healer as well. Now, I want to talk to you about, can you see it there? My cards. These are on my shop page on my website. And I just want to show them to you. So they're by Doreen and Robert Reeves. I'm not sure if it might come in reverse on the video, but they are flower therapy oracle cards. And I just want to show them to you because you might be wondering what I do when I do a reading. So my readings are, I do email readings where I can type the words out for you, or I can record it on an MP3 file, not a video file like this, but just voice only. But of course, when I record my voice, you will not be able to see the cards. And again, when I type your reading, I used to show the cards, but obviously if I choose 10 cards, I've got to photograph each of those on my mobile phone and upload, download, send them to you, and sometimes the files are too large, so I've actually stopped doing that. But what I want to show you is the cards. They're really lovely cards, and as I say, on my shop I have got these available, so readings using these. So when I say, when you buy a reading with flower therapy, that's the card I will use. Let me see. These are also on the site, but if you ask for these are the ones I will use. So here we go. What I do, so I tune into you. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. You can be in Timbuktu, Australia. I've done readings for people in America, all parts of America. Australia, Japan, even, and Asian countries, and of course the British Isles, Ireland, Scotland. So it doesn't matter where you are, I can still connect to you, and I connect to your energy. So you have energy, I have energy, the cards have energy, and we link up. Also, I link up to the spirit world. You might receive a little bit of mediumship during your reading. It all depends. An animal might come through, or a person might come through, your guide, your guardian angel. I never know what is going to happen, and I do like you to ask questions, or tell me about the part of your life that is bothering you. And the reason for this is that spirit work with you. Okay, now let's say, because I've done some private readings, and recently the people, I felt they didn't understand what a reading was about. Some of them had not had a reading before at all. Let's say you go to the doctor. Now, you could go to the doctor and just sit there. Okay, you open the door, the doctor says, "How are you?" You say you're fine, and you sit there and you think, okay, he's a doctor. He should know what's wrong with me. I look pale. Well, that's a bit, or you could hobble in, I suppose, and he might say, "What's the matter with your leg?" Or, as I say, he might turn around and say, "You look very pale. What's the matter with you?" Or some people go to the doctor. They find, and a lot of people are very worried about these sort of things, they find a lump on their leg, right? And they think, "Oh my goodness." Leave it for weeks, if not months. But then they go to the doctor, and the doctor says, "What's the matter?" And they say, "Oh, I've got a very sore throat. I've had a very sore throat for a very long time." But what they've really come about is the lump on their leg. But they daren't tell the doctor about the lump on their leg. This is very much how psychic readings work or don't work. So when people come to me, either ask for an email reading typed out or a recording. Some people expect me as a psychic to know absolutely everything about them. And quite recently, a lady came to me and she said, I said, how can I help you? And she looked at me and I thought, she's got a confused expression on her face. And she said, well, you're the psychic, you tell me. So it's the same when you go to the doctor, you sit down and, okay, the doctor can see I look pale as a ghost, look white as a ghost. It's up to him to sort things out. But unless you say to the doctor, oh, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that, I've got a bad leg, I've got a sore throat, had it for months. The doctor's not going to do anything, and he's certainly not going to sit there for an hour wondering about what is your ailment. And again, let me go back to another reading. And I was doing a reading for a couple. And they were very nice, and I explained this to them. And the man said, no, he said, you carry on how you're going. And I said, well, I much prefer if you state what is the problem in your life, or if you ask a question. And he said, no, he said, I'm quite happy, you go on. And I did actually, I dealt the cards out, and I did actually say one or two things. He said, yes, that's good, that's really good. And I should really have been a little bit more in charge of the situation, but we went on for nearly 45 minutes. And I said, look, I can carry on like this, not waffling on, but carry on like this, sort of floundering, a bit like a fish in the sea floundering. Or I said, you can tell me what it is that's bothering you. And he did then tell me what was bothering him. And I will say it was a married couple. I will say it was something very, very big in their life. Something really, really big had happened in their life. So I can understand why. I think that the chap he was in shock. So he didn't want to tell me a lot. But anyway, this can happen. I can waffle on, as they say. I can do a reading. Let's say I choose that card, and if my sitter, the person who's come for a reading or asks for an email reading, if they don't tell me what is going on, I can read the cards, do a reading, send it back. And this has also happened. Then they email back and say, well, why didn't my granddad come through? Why didn't you pick up that I've been very sad for months on end? Well, as I say, I'm not Wonder Woman. Spirit will also, I liken it to this visit to the doctor. So someone's gone to the doctor, had a lump on their leg, and they're thinking it could be cancer, but they're petrified. So they say to the doctor, I've got a sore throat. And then they go out, they go home, they think, oh, I wish I'd told the doctor about that lump on my leg, and now I've got to make another appointment. This is very much what psychic readings are about. So let's say the doctor looks at this person and thinks they look very, very pale. They're not quite right. And there's something more going on than the sore throat. But it's not up to the doctor, and doctors, they've only got 5 or 10 minutes with each patient. And so they're not going to say, well, look, yes, you're very pale, but I think there's something more going on. So how doctors work, you go to the doctor, you've got a sore throat, they give you medication, that's what you've gone for, they give you medication, ta-da. Psychic readings are very much like that. You come to see a psychic, you've got a problem with a relationship, you want to know if your lover's going to come back, if your lover's going to leave you, if you're going to get that new job you're thinking about. It's very much like it. But let's say you're worried, is your lover going to leave you? But you're also thinking of changing your job. You can ask the psychic both those questions. It's And you might also, this also came out in a reading. So a lady asked, she said she wanted to know about her future. So yes, she could have wanted to know about her future. Is her lover going to leave her? Is she going to get that job? But those things don't always come out in the cards. And again, let's say we've got this fictitious person, they're worried about their future. Is their lover going to leave them? Are they going to get that job? And they go to the psychic and they say, am I going to get that job? But what really, 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 really is on their mind is my lover going to leave me? So when we deal the cards for that job, what pops up, but what is most on the person's mind? And this is quite magical, actually. So it can pop up that what is most on the person's mind is my lover going to leave me? And then at the end of the reading, they think, well, I did ask about my job, and all that's come up is about my lover. And this is how psychic readings work. This is why some people might go home and think, oh, crikey, I wish I'd asked that lady or that man, the psychic, I wish I'd asked all my questions. Is my lover going to come back? Am I going to lose that job? And will I be able to take a holiday this year? I wish I'd asked all of those questions. But you might think, you know, I don't want to waste that person's time. I don't want them to charge me extra, because some mediums do. They'll go for an hour and then any time after that they'll charge you extra. So there's a lot going on with the client. And what you have to do is, you know, be confident. Be confident in the psychic. Be confident in the medium, the clairvoyant. And don't be afraid to ask questions. You can say to the client, you know, can I ask a question? And the client can say yes or no. I have been to psychic fairs and there was a psychic working opposite me. And I did watch her, had a little break between clients, between customers. And I watched this lady. And when someone sat down, she said, I'm going to lay the cards out. I'm going to do all the cards. I don't want you to say anything at all. I'm going to do all the cards. Generally, psychics will lay out 10 cards or 12 in a clock face or 10 in the Celtic cross. So this lady, this medium psychic, she said, I'm going to lay all the cards out, read them, and then you can ask questions at the end. And she said this to everybody. Now, I do say to people, if it's a face-to-face, I say, you know, are you happy with that? And do you understand that? And another thing I do, if I'm doing a face-to-face, I ask people to say yes or no to me. I don't want people to say, you know, if I pick a card, like with the couple who'd had something really horrible go on in their life, I picked a card out and it said something like danger, and the chap said yes, yes, yes. And then I would say, look, I've got this card and it represents danger. Can you understand that? And I expect my client to say, yes, I can understand that, or no, I can't. I don't want my client to say, yes, I can understand it. I was and they go on and on and on. I just want them to say yes or no, and then spirit work with them and give more information. So it's a sort of two-way or three-way. So my client speaks, I connect to the spirit world answers my client, and then I convey it to my client. And it does happen very, very quickly. You might think, oh, you know, it takes a minute for the client to ask a question. It takes a minute for me to answer and connect to the spirit world, another minute to get the answer, and so on and so on. But it doesn't. It happens very, very quickly. So for the reading, when I do an email reading, typing it out, or if I do an email reading, recording my voice, I will choose the cards, I will bless them and cleanse them, and ask for the spirit world to join us. I sometimes ask for Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel helps psychic people and helps with psychic readings. And with my Keepers of the Light cards, which I should do another video about that, I asked for the Keepers of the Light to join me. And I sense spirit around me. I can sense them now. So there's a spirit behind me, a guardian angel, and their arms are coming around me, protecting me as I do the cards. So I choose the cards according to what my client would like, take them out of the box, all right, bless them, cleanse them, and then I begin to shuffle them. And sometimes a card will fall out of the pack, and it's lovely when this happens because it means it's a very important message. And I often keep that card till the last. I will keep the card. Any card that pops out, I will keep it till the last card. And if I'm going to choose 10 cards for the Celtic Cross and a card pops out, or 2 or 3 cards pop out, well then I will choose 10 and keep the extra cards. All right, at the moment none are popping out, so I'm going to ask these cards, what do they want us to know? What's the message that needs to be known for me doing this little video? Whoops, one nearly popped out. Did you see that? Whoops. They disappeared. Okay, I've got 2 or 3. Hang on a minute. Be with you in a minute. So there we go. We were tempting things then, weren't we? Well, we've actually got 3. Right, let's, I don't know what, oh, these are lovely. I'll hold them up in a couple of minutes, and the writings are quite whatever. So this one is laughter. Uplift yourself and those around you through loving laughter. Now, spirit love us to laugh and have fun. There we go. Can you see it? Laughter. Uplift yourself and those around you through loving laughter. That's the first one that popped out for us today. This one. Release all anger. And the plant is snapdragon. You know, snap, snap, snap. If you're angry at someone, snap, snap, snap. Release all anger. Don't give power to negative words by saying them. Speak from your higher self and make your communications peaceful and loving. Now, I've been reading lately about how words affect us. Wendy Fry, if you look up Wendy Fry, ghostwriter, look her up on Facebook. She has done a little post. She wrote an article for a magazine, so do look her up. Wendy Fry, ghostwriter. She might just come under Wendy Fry, but she did a lovely little post about how our words affect us and those around us. So this is release all anger. Don't give power to negative words by saying them. It's also, I did a podcast the other day, but I accidentally clicked my mouse in the middle of it and then it all disappeared. But that too was about the words we say, and people talk about mindfulness, and that is being aware of what you're saying. And also, if you look up Sue Stone, she does some lovely podcast videos about our thoughts. So that's a very interesting card for us. Now this last one, reach for the stars. That's lovely, isn't it? Reach for the stars. You deserve only the best, and this is all you should focus your attention on. There, reach for the stars. So do that. These 3 cards, they fell out of the pack, so they're very important messages. So if you would like a reading from me, this is explaining just the flower therapy packs. These are lovely cards by Doreen Virtue, and It's a little book. It goes with each of these. Let me just pop that away. Now when I here we go again. The mouse has gone, made the screen go dark. When I use these cards, I don't always see what is on them. I don't know if we can pick. Let's pick this one. Okay, it says you are a spiritual teacher. And it also says share your wisdom with others. You were born to teach. So that's very appropriate because at the moment I'm trying to teach you what I see in the cards. Now it's showing up a bit lighter, but when I look at it here, this dark, whoops, that dark there is quite dark. As I look at the card like this, it's quite dark. Now, if I were doing a reading for someone and this card popped out, I might think, because there's a dark patch, I might think that person's got a dark patch in their life. There's something wrong in their life. There's something going on. All right. Okay, so that's how I see the cards. Let me see if I can get another one. Well, let's just, this one's just on the top, so I shan't read what it says. But again, you can see there, if I'm doing it right, there's a little bit of darkness there. So this is just an example. So say this popped up in someone's reading, I might think, oh, you know, there's a little bit of darkness going on in this person's life. But because this is all lovely and bright, can't get my hand around it, all lovely and bright at the top there, you know, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So that's how I see the cards. I don't always read what's on top and what's on the bottom when I do a reading. And I don't always see exactly. This card represents, it's important for you to have fun along with fulfilling your responsibilities. But as I say, it might come out in a reading and might say to the person, oh, you know, there's something not quite right going on in your life, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, so that's just a little bit to tell you how I use flower therapy cards. And if you would like to look at my website, www.psychicbarbaraburgess.com, you can purchase a reading there. Oops, that might be the postman, so bye for now.